Howdy folks, Stray Cat 74 here. We're out in the forge tent. As you can see, there's the forge going, and I've realized I made a horrible mistake with that. Well, it's not so much a mistake as it was a minor oversight. As you can see, it's still going pretty good. The tank is starting to get low, so it's sputtering a little bit. But one of the projects I'm working on, let me get the camera straight up and down, is a Kukri, a lawnmower Kukri. And the problem I'm running into, once this settles down a little bit, is in order to put this in here, it doesn't fit very well into that hole. So I've gotten about that far in the blade, and I can't get it any further. I mean, I could turn it around and holding what's going to end up being the blade and doing that, but that's going to be awkward as shit. So what I'm going to need to do is, and I haven't decided how to do that, but regardless of what I do, I'm going to end up having to recoat that, because there's also chips and chunks, and the forge liner is wearing out, like in this corner here. I don't know if you can see it. You can just barely start to see the outline right there. And the phone's doing the pausing thing again. I don't know why it's doing that. So not only do I need a better camera, I need a wider forge if I'm going to finish the Kukri. What I worked on today is, I worked on this knife a little bit. I needed to straighten it up a little bit, widen the blade a touch, get rid of the bit at the point here. It was swooping up and out and away. I also worked on a tomahawk a little bit. I rounded off the point, but I'm thinking I should have done the hole first, because I cannot get that motherfucker to go straight. I shouldn't be swearing, but you know, fuck it. Blade's about where I want it. I want it a little bit thinner because it's still quite a bit thick here. But getting that, I'm probably just going to drill the fucking holes out and then use the anvil to open that up a little bit. So yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing. I only been out here an hour and a half, maybe, tops. And a lot of that was waiting for the forge to warm up. So, in any case, I'm going to stop this and go downstairs and upload it. Hi there folks, Stray Cat 74 here. Got a little video for you. I'm going to do the ending now, so you can, well, you don't actually get to see me doing anything, because the new camera takes a TF card and all I have is SD cards. I got to get a new memory card because this has no memory for, I mean, I could get like a minute of video and that's about it. Anyhow, worked on the second railroad spike knife a little bit, and I didn't really do much. I straightened it out a little, so you can see it's actually straight. I still have a little bit of a dip here that I just can't get rid of. Every time I set it like this, start hitting on here, it starts deforming the edge and not flattening out here. But I did get a little bit of the swoop that was here out of it, and the rest of it's going to come out in grinding. All I did was hit it with the wire brush on the bench grinder a little bit, and then I'm going to hit it with the belt grinder, probably in a little bit. Then I started working on my next project, and it was going great right up until I tried to punch the hole. It kept twisting off, sliding, and I mean, I got the end tapered. I got the blade widened up a little bit. It's still a bit thick there, but, you know, a lot of that will come out in the grinding, but it warped the shit out of this motherfucker while I was trying to drift that hole. That right there is a lot harder than it looks. I see guys, you know, they grab another railroad spike, stick it there, and hit it with a hammer a bunch, and poof, they got a hole. Apparently, I need a lot more practice with that shit. But that's why I'm using railroad spikes, for practice. Speaking of practice, I got on my high horse, and I figured, what can I do with a lawnmower blade? Well, the answer is, I can screw it up really good. The end here is flared out. It comes to a taper, and then I had to flatten that out, and I couldn't get this to forge over. I couldn't get that metal to move. So I folded it over, and I forged welded it. I probably need to do it a few more times. Let me see if I can get it. You can see I've got some gap here, and a little bit here. I know up here in the meat, it's nice and set, so I'm going to try and grind this out and get, you know, to help keep it from delaminating. It's going to end up getting cut in half here, and I'm going to squoze, yeah, technical term, squoze this down, which will make it longer, squeeze it, flatten it a whole bunch, so that the handle's down here, and that's about how long the blade's going to end up being. Or at least, that's the plan. So, lawnmower blade Kukri in progress. I didn't get the blades I wanted. I was buying them used. The guy kept wanting to send me shredder blades, which have these prongs up here like this, and I wanted straight blades. Straight blades. Excuse me. You know, and this is as close as I could get, and as you can see, that's far from straight. I guess what I should do when I go to do this end, like I said, I'm going to cut it in half. I'm probably just going to end up spreading this out for the pommel and wood on either side, pin it, glue it in place, whatever. But when I go to do this side, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a grinder and just grind this motherfucker off, continue this angle up to this point. Yeah, in any case. That way I don't have to deal with this for the second time. But if you look at it from that side, it's not bad. That side, I'm hoping that'll grind out. So, railroad spike knife. Near failure of a railroad spike tomahawk. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep going with this or pitch it. Well, put it in my discard pile. What I'm going to, like I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in the drill press, drill a couple of holes down through here, all the way through, so I can square that up and straighten it out, and then try to get that hole. That's about the center of balance. Hey, look at that. I almost got it. Ah! I looked up at the screen and I lost track of what I was doing right about there. So it's more or less where the handle's going to end up. So I'm going to try to recover this with the drill. Grind it up, clean it up, put a handle on it. And this will be my first, so it ain't pretty. Learning, getting better with the hammer control. I still wanted to get this a little more, and I just couldn't get it to go. Second thing, or did I mention this? That's as far as it goes into my forge. I'm having trouble heating and pounding that up. Or did I say that already? I probably did. It's not like I script these. This is strictly, I turn the camera on and I start babbling. Instead of Basement of Solitude, it's Stray Cat's Babble Corner. Well, I'm not in the corner. Nobody put Stray Cat in the corner. Anyhow, I'm going to go do a little bit of grinding. And even if these are complete and total failures, I'm learning something. And a wise man once said, you know, a day that you learn something is not a day wasted. I waste a lot of my days. I'm not wasting, well, I'm wasting railroad spikes, but who cares about railroad spikes? I think I got these for like $2. And it's strictly learning hammer control, learning how to move that metal. You know, I think this lawnmower blade was $7. You know, I'd like to call it reclaimed steel, but it's not quite reclaimed, you know. I took something that was a functional lawnmower blade and turning it into a non-functional blade. I'm going to stop right there. Anywho, that's your update. I'm going to pull the footage off my camera so you can see what's going on out in the forge. And, yeah, well, here we go.